Whoa. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Don't worry about me. I'm tired. I went to bed late last night watching my shows. Good morning. Good morning. How to stay up and watch the reunion part 3. Come on. The reunion part 3. Ugh. And then I had to watch In the City. Actually, I didn't finish it all the way, but it's okay. I'll finish it later. Good Wednesday. So I'm tired because I didn't get enough sleep. So, what's new? Actually, I wasn't tired yesterday. It was the first day in a long time. So, I don't know. What do you do? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. So, I overdid it yesterday, so I'm tired. But like I said to my members, God, did I not? Counseling fucked me up yesterday. I don't think I told anybody, but counseling fucked me up yesterday. So I just spent the afternoon hacking bushes and stuff. So I did too much yesterday, but that's okay. You know what I mean? That's okay. Shit, Robert, you're early. Good morning. Happy Wednesday. I'm trying to get on early every day. I woke up a little bit late. I did not want to get up. Hacking bush. Yep. I was hacking bush. Is it too early to fern? I don't think so. Depends on how productive you want to be today. Some people are productive on the fern, so if it doesn't stop you, or if you want to be lazy, that's okay. Do your thing, boo. Do your thing. I ain't stopping you. I don't judge. Shit. Sometimes I drink at 12, 11:30 at the earliest, but your newborn, aw, how fun. You need to fern then if you're going out with family. Shit. No fucking shit. You know what I was thinking about going today? Is to the casino, but I don't think I have time. Best taco? Thank you. Yeah. It doesn't match, but it doesn't match my outfit, but who cares? I'm home. I don't even care if I went out in public looking like this. You know what I mean? I don't give 2 fucks. I used to worry about that shit. I don't care about it anymore. Everybody is, hey, Nady's getting a whack-off room. Yeah. Nady's getting a whack-off room. Thank Jesus. Yeah, thank Jesus. At the end of July, they're moving. And he finally gets his room. I'm going to the casino Sunday. Nice. So now he can have a whack-off session in private without worrying if his daddy's gonna come in or yell or scream. It's funny how times have changed with our clothing. Yeah, I don't give 2 fucking shits. Not 1 shit, 2 shit, or 3 shits. You know what I mean? I don't care. I'll go out looking like a fool. Y'all know. Why don't you brush your hair? Why? I'm not going anywhere. And if I am, who cares? I have a hat on. I don't give 2 shits. Who am I out to impress? I'm not impressing anybody. I'm out for myself. Don't look at me. You don't want to look at me. You know what I mean? Don't look at me. I don't care. I'm out. Minding my own business. I don't care. Shit, yeah, I'll act like I'm on a runway model or something. I'm on a runway and modeling. I ain't. I'm 52 years old. You're lucky I even make it out of the house. I don't check. I would go in pajamas if I was in them, but I don't wear pajamas. I wear workout clothes for sleeping. Do you ever brush your hair? Yes, once a day. Why do you got to do it anymore? I do it before I shower because you seem to not like your father-in-law. Well, do you want me to tell you what you seem like? You seem like you haven't a clue. That's the nice version. Yeah. I don't understand how people can say that when he's been here for 5 years. If I didn't like him, do you think I would have him here? Come on. I didn't like him when he first started at my house. Yeah, that's true. But I still have him in my house. So that should tell you something. But if you can't figure that out, then I can't help you. Go back to school. Go back to school. I didn't know. Now, maybe you guys can clarify this for me, but I didn't know that you could take care of somebody, have them live in your house for 5 years, wipe their ass, change their diapers regularly, change their clothes, wash their bedding, feed them, make sure they're getting ample amounts of liquid, walking, care, worry, and not like somebody. Because for me, there's no way in hell I could take care of somebody I didn't like, right? I don't know about you guys, but for me, for me, I think it's just common sense, but we are lacking common sense in today's world. So not surprising somebody would say that. Yeah. Did that guy just said a sports bra is not appropriate for viewers? Who the hell would run naked? That would hurt the cha-chas, the tatas. So anyway, yes, I'm so a mean person. Every day in the morning time, I squeeze half a lemon in his water to give him some vitamin C. Yeah, that sounds like hate. Doesn't that sound like hate, y'all? Yeah, hate. Yeah. The tatas and the cha-chas. Cha-chas. The new name for the titties, the cha-chas. Yeah. So remember, tapping is clapping. And thumbs up, bitches. Even the trolls, if you're here wasting your time taking notes, you should at least give me some likes. I'm excellent. I'm not excellent. I sure as hell am just a normal person trying to survive and take care of my people, right? That's it. I'm just trying to take care of my people. I'm not great. I'm perfectly imperfect, and I'm okay with that. You're a set of boobs now to apparently cha-chas. The cha-chas. It's hard. Do I like it every day? No, I don't want to do it. Caregiving is just more than caring for the person. It's a lot more fucking work, right? I mean, we have to clean things constantly. We have to do fucking laundry like no tomorrow. My washer is broken, so I had to buy a new set. So I mean, it's cleaning up. It's hard work. It's making sure you're doing your person good. It's making sure they're walking, making sure they're okay, making sure that they're not soiled, making sure that they're in clean clothes. Because if you know. And soiling is a common thing in this job. My book arrived. Yay! Miss, let me know. I have an awesome author, writer, who we have, you're fed up and it happens. It fucking happens every day. Fed up, fed up. You cannot let go of them from your mind. They're constantly in there. And if you're in my mind, fuck, it doesn't stop. My book is in my link tree. There you have it, is my first book. Speaking of books, we have children's books as well. And we have a new Millie Pig book coming out Friday. It's the 4th of July Centennial Edition. This 4th of July is special. So Millie Pig comes out with her special edition. So make sure you guys buy it on Friday. It's a lot of work, yeah. Carmel. I never know how to say it in a name. So the Richie's feeling better. So it's a lot harder. I mean, it's harder in certain, the kids grow up and they're independent. Your person's not independent ever. They're dependent. And later in life, when you have that responsibility, it's fucking hard. First grade will be so excited. They're so cute. He hasn't seen any boobs lately. Oh, yeah. Well, my titties aren't for show. My husband barely sees my titties. So I can't help anybody with wanting to see those. Caramel. I say it in three different ways. Carmel. Shit. Now I'm all stressed out. I say caramel 2 different ways. Caramel, and what's the right way? Carmel, California. Got it. Anyway. Hi, Janice. How are you? How's my pain level today? You ordered my book? Oh, thanks, Rhonda. How's my pain level? My pain level isn't bad. You guys, I'm thinking that this Cymbalta is kind of working already, right? So my pen level seems more controlled with the Cymbalta and the Lyrica than it was before, right? I still have it, right? I mean, it doesn't go away. So don't get it twisted, but it's more bearable than it has been. Richie, I said peasants and peons, yes. The peasants and peons mean, basically, I'm open to the public. Yes. And you seem like a peon and a peasant. It's exactly what I'm talking about. So being you came on, you took something I said, and now have made it something that it offends you. Yes, a peon. And how did you know? You must have heard on my open TikTok or something. So yes, today is with the peasants and peons. That's what we talk about. Because then I have to subject myself to people like you. You know? Those are the peasants and peons. Now, the ones who are here and show up because they can't afford a subscription or don't want it, they know who they are. They don't fit that mold. But the other people do. And you should know. Bye-bye. Daisy Lou, thank you for the gifts. I appreciate it. Remember, tap, 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 tap on TikTok. Send my live out to all the peons and peasants, please. Why are you being classicist? Classicist. Oh God, Tyler, we're not going to go into making me say what I said into racist categories. We ain't doing that today. Watch your step or get to stepping. You know what I mean? I hate that people want to turn everything into something, you know? Stop making it bigger than it really is. Shit, what is going on? The floodgates are open. The peasants and the peons are coming in, yo. Oh, shit. Tap, 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 tap. You guys give me a thumbs up. Even the idiots, the peasants and the peons. So, anywho, I have nothing going on today. Nothing. So it's kind of nice that I have a free day. Today is shower day. Today is shower day, which means that, goddamn, I'm a horrible person. Yeah, I have to think about shower days and routine and making sure he's clean. What a wicked caregiver I am. I must really hate him. Why isn't your treadmill facing the yard? Well, very simply, because if you know anything about garages, they have a decline for rain or floods or anything, so everything is a downward slope. So if I faced it the other way, I would be on a downward slope, and the warranty does not apply because it's not on the right way. So that's why it's facing this way. Plus, I already have enough glare, right? And I have devices. And although my yard is pretty, I still wouldn't be looking at it. And it would provide me more issues with my eyes. Very simple. Yeah, very simple. Oh, Lord. It's muggy. Yeah, well, you got to do the yard work early before it gets muggy. I did a lot. It's going to be 103 tomorrow. 103. 103 is the hottest day this week. It's going to be high 90s today, I think. Tomorrow, 103, and then it starts dropping a little bit. You know, but to me, 103 is no different than 98. It feels the same to me here anyway. You too, Samantha. Get it done before it gets hot and muggy. I heard some parts of Texas are getting lots of rain. So if you're in Texas, you're raining for a while. Hot day in beautiful Panama City, Florida. And Vegas, it's 101 today. Yeah. So we're pretty close. We're only a couple degrees off typically right now. My friend's coming to Vegas next week. I was like, who the hell plans a vacation to Vegas in June and July? Nobody. You gotta be stupid. Gotta be stupid. How to say this year in Indiana? Yeah. You can bake cookies outside. That's for sure. Got the 103. Yeah. Right, Rhonda? I mean, you live there, so it's hotter than a witch's coochie out here. Yeah. Yeah, you don't, for the first time, you don't go to Vegas in July. Yeah, no. And no thank you to Arizona. I'm fine where I am. I'm already dry. Nashville had rain every day this week. Oh, God. Well, it keeps the temperature down, right? I like it hot. I know when it's hot, unless you'll send me a tick bite. Oh, is that true, Chad? We don't really have a big issue with ticks here. I don't mind working in the heat. You know, my neighbors are always like, Danielle, you're getting old. You should watch yourself. I like the heat. Weirdly, well, not anymore. Actually, I don't know what I'm saying. Here's what I should say. Back in the day, I used to really not care about the heat. Now, I fucking lied. I forgot. Now, because I'm in perimenopause and fibromyalgia, I start getting impatient now with the heat. Yeah, I'm getting older, but you know, you got to do what you got to do, you know? Well, I wish I would say I'm getting old. Well, my neighbors are like, girl, you better watch yourself. You know, you're getting older out here in the heat. It's going to kill you. You still fucking hate it? Girl, get the fuck out. Hi, Jason. I appreciate you. Thank you for being kind and just coming in and saying hi. Yeah, instead of bitching about something. My nose being too big, my nostrils being extremely huge. You know, I don't brush my hair. I'm a horrible caregiver. I'm a horrible person, a woman. Thank you for just coming in and being nice. Everywhere is bad in July. Yes, I think so. So I've noticed that heat is intolerable for me now. So I think that's a sign of elderly, you know, elderly changes. Yeah. Am I crushing it? Shit, Gabby. If I'm crushing it, then I'm fooling a lot of you guys. I mean, I guess I'm kind of crushing it in a way. You know what I mean? I guess I'm kind of crushing it in a way. Remember, crushing it because I'm a pusher. And I hate to be a failure. And in my mind, this is what I'm learning from counseling is that somewhere along the way, I've learned that if I don't accomplish a task or get something, I feel like a failure, which is horrible, right? Because I'm not a failure. I still wake up every day. I push, regardless of my exhaustion, my tired, my pain. I keep pushing and I get shit done. And if I don't, you know, my mind doesn't stop. And I learned something that I think I'm functionally depressed. Functional depression is being me, what you see on the outside. But on the inside, my mind does not stop. My brain just goes around in circles. And I definitely am that. So although on the outside I look perfectly normal, I guess, my mind doesn't fucking stop, y'all. It goes around. So let me tell you a situation. I hyperfocus. So what I've noticed, for those of you who are new, I started Cymbalta last week. Finally, I feel like it's titrated in my system. It took me day 3, 4, and 5. It zonked me fucking out. I told you I was taking 2-hour naps and didn't even realize, like I was just dead. So what I've realized, and I was telling my counselor this yesterday, is that it's made me calmer in so many different ways. But now the overthinking is insanely front and center, right? So it's crazy how it's cycled where The overthinking was there, but it was so clouded by everything else, I think. And now that everything else is calmer, the overthinking's like, ha ha ha, ha ha ha, ha ha, you didn't get me, bitch. Can't calm me down. So it's front and center, overly. Like I feel overly consumed with it in the last couple days. So it's for both, Vintage Mama. So I have fibromyalgia and for it's an antidepressant that also works with pain. So it's great. I think it's really helping it's helping a lot, except this overthinking. Everyone's depressed, yes, Chad. And exercise is very important. So I was just like telling so I bought a washer. My washer is on the kaputs, right? And I finally like panicked because it was really like doing something extremely bad. And I was like, fuck, I gotta just buckle up, right? And do it. Then I was like, I have front loaders. I'm going back to the original. I hate the fucking front loaders. They take too much space. My dryer has to be further away from where it is. It gets unplugged. I have to fucking plug it in if it doesn't work. And it's just a pain in the ass. It's always been a pain in the ass. So I'm like, so I need to get a washer. So I bought a washer. I finally just sucked it up. I was like, I gotta buy this because I do too much wash for it to just wait until it dies. So I'm like, okay, I got scared the other day, so I bought it. I was like, I'm not gonna buy a dryer. I'm not gonna buy a dryer, right? But then my dryer, because I've been fiddle fucking around with the washer to get it to work, my dryer wasn't working. So obviously it's the plug. The plug is being compromised because it's too far away from the plug itself. Is it Good Friday for a dryer? Yes. So you want it. Do you want the drawer with the dryer? So it still works fine, but I stressed out. So for 24 hours, I hyper focused on shit. I should probably buy a dryer. Shit. No, I don't need it. Shit. And it was like for 24 hours, I couldn't stop. I was so hyper focused on it, it was stressing me out. I'm calm, but it was still, anxiety is also, your mind is also a sign of anxiety. So yesterday I had an issue with the dryer because it wasn't working, and I had to squeeze back there and try to plug it in. And I said, fuck it, I'm done. I'm getting a dryer. So I ended up buying the dryer, and then I had to call to make sure they're both being delivered the same day. So, yeah, and normally I was like that, Chad, but I was trying to be, mature adult, and I ended up not being a mature adult, right? I ended up fucking going crazy and saying fuck it, because that fitting between those things, I did. But I couldn't help it, and now it quieted my mind. I know, it will, Chad, I know. And also, it will. And then the dryer can go to the normal side and not have the plug compromised. The plug is not fully in the wall, right? Because it's not where it's supposed to be. So I was like, fuck this shit. Fuck this shit. Now I'm gonna have so much more space, and I can use the fucking cabinets above it. It's gonna be helpful for everybody. Sean, I need $1,800. Thank you. I appreciate your love. So Zelda's gonna pick up my dryer because it works perfectly fine. It's a great dryer. So Zelda, she's like, I'll take the dryer if you end up buying one. And I ended up doing it in my mind. So that's what I'm saying. The next thing I'm hyper focusing on is drinking. I haven't drank, right? But why am I so consumed with not drinking? Why am I counting the days? Why is that forefront of my mind? I don't know. Why do I obviously think about that? And food. Constantly focused on food. And that to me, we're trying to figure that out with counseling. So it has to do something with the anorexia, obviously. And whatever caused the anorexia was some of its control, right? Oh, Jesus fucking Christ, cha-cha. So anyway, your family will like that. You mean me? I'm the only one who does laundry. So the food addiction has always been there, right? Because of anorexia. You never lose that. But the hyper focusing on my brain works the same way, right? As it did. You've convinced yourself you don't need the alcohol, but I haven't. I'm like, yeah, does it sound good? It does. but I don't really want to get it, you know? Do I want it? Yes, but do I need it? Have you tried a GLP-1? No, I don't need it. I don't need it. I'm in pretty good shape for 52. And, you know, we have enough skin. I don't need to do a GLP-1 and look like Skeletor, you know? So your brain this is making my brain act differently, right? And it does that. So it's making my brain think differently and focus on things that I didn't focus on as hard as I do now. So the alcohol, I still like it. I still want it, but now I'm afraid to have it. I don't know why. Why I'm afraid to have it. Because I think now it's been so long, I'm going to let myself down. So it's these weird issues, again, having to do with failure. And I don't necessarily know where those came from. So we're trying to work through all that. We're trying to work through all that and try to figure it out and why I feel the way I do. And it probably has something to do with my feelings of being a burden to people, you know, not expressing my emotion and all that stuff. So, you know, I'm sure I'll get comfortable again with drinking again. But right now it's stressing me out. It's stressing me out. And I'm just going to say that. You're making me want to exercise, but I'm traveling in a car right now. Move your arms around. Move your arms. So anyway, interesting things that the drugs do, right? Every drug that you take does something different to your mindset. And so this one has calmed so many things down, but there is something that is making other things so much more prominent, which maybe were prominent before, but the other things quieted them down. So that's what's happening with this drug that I've noticed in a week. Mentally, yesterday, the day before yesterday, I started feeling better mentally. Yesterday was a great day. Today I'm just tired, but I feel pretty good. So I think we're headed in the right direction. I was really scared that the way it was making me feel was going to be too much. Now watching me sweat. So I think I'm okay. Yeah, I said if every day it was like yesterday, I'll be okay. You know, I'll be okay. It's just that those voices in my head, you know, the anorexia is always there, right? That once you're anorexic, once you're bulimic, once you're an alcoholic, all those things come back. And you feel them. And the problem is why am I focusing on it? And a little bit is that control, where I get from feeling powerful from the control, right? I feel powerful when I don't eat a lot the next day. I feel powerful when I don't drink. But why do I feel powerful? Right? Why do I feel powerful? Why does that make me feel so much better about myself? And I don't know. So those are the things that we're trying to figure out, you know, what caused it and why, and letting go of that. A peptide biohacking is amazing for your body and soul. So that's where I'm at. So the eating thing, comes from addiction, right? And it works, you know, anorexia for me eventually led to starvation. And I told her yesterday, I said, this was really powerful. I said, why do I look at skinny people and think that, and are jealous? It's the body dysmorphia and the anorexia. It's sick. My sister was miserable when she stopped drinking. Her cancer came back, and I wish she would have started drinking again until the end. She might as well have, right? I mean, and so those are the old wounds, right? And something about pain I must like because I'm used to pain. I don't know, you know, it's just, and then I hyper-focus on the things that I've talked about in my sessions. So my brain doesn't stop. My brain doesn't stop. And my addiction is still there. per usual. The alcohol thing is weird, but I can't figure that out. It's the same thing. Like, I haven't done it. Why do it? Why even have a drink? But a drink's not bad. A drink's not bad. But right now, it makes me feel uncomfortable, right? So I don't know how to quiet that and say, hey, it's okay. If you want it, drink it. But right now, my body's saying, don't do it, because you're going to wake up, you're going to beat yourself up and feel like a failure. And I think that's Stacy's kind of me. It's all or nothing. And there's no middle ground, right? Hi, Richie Etler. There's no middle ground. And I'm striving to be somewhere in the middle, right? Because middle's healthy. The all in, all nothing is not good. And don't like it. I don't like it either. So I'm talking about it, right? Because I'm learning about it. And I'm learning about all these things, and they're opening up all these wounds. And I'm like, holy fucking shit. And everything is blending together, and everything is like overpowering. And I'm like, what the fuck? Now I see why I'm that way. You know, everything stemmed from my childhood. A little bit in my adolescence, right? From 8 on up. But most of it, you know, I had to take care of my mom. I realized she was upset, so I became her caregiver, right? I didn't show her emotions. I didn't cry. Well, I started not crying because, you know, and these are all pieces I put together. I started not crying because I didn't want her to make her more upset, right? So I never showed emotion. Even when I was older, you know, I never wanted her to see me cry. I was always embarrassed if I started crying. Why? Well, it turns out that I did it because that's what my mom taught me. Not on purpose, but it inadvertently, that's what happens to children. Makes you feel like, I don't want to hurt this person even more. She's already hurting. So emotions became something I held to myself. And I didn't talk about how I felt because it was hard, because I felt like I couldn't, right? And that means it's compassion. My mom lacked compassion. Doesn't mean they don't love you. It just means that they didn't see you. She said something last night. She said, you know, when you were anorexic and you were withering away, because at the end, my mom had to keep taking me to the doctor because I was so sick all the time because I wasn't eating. And the doctor, from what I remember, and I could be completely wrong, but my memory says the doctor was like, hey, you're dying, you know, basically. She's like, well, what did your mom say? And I said, well, she didn't really see me because nobody saw me naked. And I was in baggy clothes. And she said, yes, but your mom kept taking you to the doctor. And I said, okay, and? She said, well, what did she ever say? She obviously knew you lost 40 pounds, 40 plus pounds. Like, it wasn't like a noticeable, it was a noticeable difference. And I said, well, I remember her saying, Danielle, you need to eat. Come have some dinner. No, I don't want it, you know, whatever. And be in my room, but that's all she did. And then she said, I'm sorry your mom didn't see you. I sat there like that. And I was like, I wanted to defend my mom, you know. Hi, Anipo. I wanted to defend my mom. But I couldn't, because you're right. You know, she was right. She didn't see me. She saw me, but she didn't see me. Sorry. That was hard, you know? And I knew counseling was going to be fucking weird. Knew counseling was going to fuck with me for a minute, you know? And I think deep down, I knew the uncovering was going to be about my mom. Somebody who I never blamed, right? Somebody who I never, because I had a dad that I could push all my blaming on, right? So, you know, I just sat there and she knew, she said, no, You know, again, it doesn't mean she didn't love you. I want to make that perfectly clear because I keep saying, but my mom loved me, you know? She's like, right. So having to recognize, and we're all failing, by the way, we all have failed our kids in some way, right? We all have. And every kid comes out scathed from the choices we make as parents or the things we say unintentionally, you know? And then our kids are like, you fuck, you know? I'm still not angry. I mean, I'm angry, obviously, because I have to recognize that my mom didn't see me. She was probably too wrapped up in her own depression and whatever. If she loved me, I never felt that she didn't. But you're right. Where's the compassion? Right? Where's the compassion? Compassion is stepping up to the plate and saying, I see you, and we're going to end this shit right now. How can I help you? Right? And she never did that. And I'm sure I did that to my kids at some point too, or not. And so I realized that I tucked away all my mom's trauma. And that's okay, right? And I knew that counseling was, I knew there was issues. I didn't want to see them, but now I'm seeing them. And I have to see them in order to understand who I am today. Y'all need to see them because that's the only way you're going to find out and fix who you are today. So, you know, Luella, we're going to fuck up our kids, right? I didn't have time, you know, to talk to my mom and to clear things up. And, you know, if she were here today, she would have been a different woman, right? A completely different woman. And so I'm angry and it's okay. I think I will always be angry for the life. I will be always angry for certain things that she did, right? It's okay, right? Do I forgive her? I do. I'm not mad at her, but I had to release it in order to not be mad. I'm still angry, and I think that will always be an emotion that I will have towards certain things, and her life as a mom. Now, I think if she were alive today and I could talk these things through with her, I think it would be completely different. I don't resent her. I don't resent. I know that for a fact. I don't resent. But like these little things, I have to process and I have to say, okay, this makes sense, right? This makes sense. So I'm making sense of everything and I'm trying to heal myself. And that's how you heal, is by recognizing the things that made you the way you are today, your responses, your feelings, your emotions, right? It's triggered by that inner child. So you have to recognize all that trauma. So that's what we're doing. And anorexia, right, is a component to trauma. And that's the way in that time at 13, 14, I learned to cope, right? That was a coping mechanism for me. And so it follows me through my adult life at 52. It still consumes me. And so trying to make it aware and saying that, right? Talking about it to an open audience of 300 to 400 people, right? Is also very healing. And makes it more helpful to process and to understand, right? Emotions, and I've learned this by my counselor, she said, emotions are always going to be there. You're always going to feel those things. It's letting it go, but you're always going to feel a certain way. And I don't want to be angry, right? And I think that's why I was so afraid of counseling, was because of my mom. Because I knew there was trauma there. I'm a child development major, so I know the brain development, and I know where I was from birth to 8, you know? And I knew, but it just, things are starting to make sense, you know? And I'm like, oh my God. You know, I have these like, oh my God, and then this is why I do this. You know, oh my God, this is why I do that. Motherfucker. Turns out that I have been shut down all my life, right? Meaning I don't feel like sharing my emotions are safe. Couldn't do it with my mom, right? I don't really do it to Dan because he can't handle my stress on top of his, right? And so at that point, maybe that's why I learned to talk about it openly, is because I finally have a place where people listen, right? And I told this to my therapist. I said, I finally, I think, was able to grow because of social media, right? Because I have an audience that actually wants to listen and wants to be here for me. And I said, that makes a lot of sense of why maybe I was able to open up and grow and release as an individual, right? Is because I found my place. I found a place to be that allowed me to grow in so many different ways and to be heard and to be seen, you know? When I was anorexic, I loved the attention because I didn't get it. Right? Oh my God, you look so great. Oh my God, you'd like this. You did, look this. And, it was striving, and I didn't understand that aspect of it. I knew it had something to do with control, but it also had to do with getting attention. Did this trauma impact your marriage? Well, trauma impacts marriage in many ways because it impacts it the way you respond and the way you react to things, right? So, feeling like I get shut down. People are like, oh, talk to Dan. I said, I do all the time. It's on deaf ears, So I don't open up a lot to him because he shuts me down. He doesn't have room for my minutia and he can't give me what I need. So again, it's another trigger for me. So I shut down. I feel like I'm a burden, like I can't talk to anybody, right? Another person, another safe person that's for me that won't allow me to vent or help in different ways because he can't handle it. And so, and I said that. I said, it's crazy because you're right. I don't. But now I do. Now I do. And if I didn't have this community, I don't know if I would have been any further along in my development, right? I don't know if I would have even been to counseling. I would have been probably very sad and very miserable, right? Watching Dan do his thing and maybe not feeling like I was worthy, right? Because that's another feeling that I have. I'm not worthy enough, right? I'm not important. I'm just here, right? I'm just here functioning. And I think at the end of the day, right? Somebody said it and said, we all just want to be loved at the end of the day. We all want to feel, and it's hard to show love when you feel certain ways. So this is how it impacts marriage, right? And it's all these connections that you start making. And then I'm just going, holy fucking shit, holy fucking shit. So because I feel shut down in certain areas, and this could be with friendships or anything else like that, marriage, whatever, it's hard to love yourself and love somebody at the same time that you don't feel love from, right? And it goes both ways. It goes both ways, right? And it's hard because I didn't understand all these emotions and I didn't know why I did these things they do. Now I do. I understand. But I can't love somebody effectively if I'm not getting the same love back, right? So it's finding a balance. It's finding a balance and trying to learn how to coexist with a person who's so different, right? And, the traumas of feeling the way I do because of responses and reactions, And so I made me feel a certain way. And it's hard to love in the way that they need it when you're not getting the love that you need, right? So it's so complicating. So complicating because we as individuals, by other people's reactions, we respond based on how they have reacted. So if there's a negative reaction and you've had some sort of trauma similar to that, you're going to do whatever you feel, like shut down. Okay, I'll just deal with it. right? I'll just move on. I'll handle it myself, right? It's all okay, but it's not okay, right? But I've told myself it's okay because how else do you get through? You just keep motoring through. So it's hard. It's hard now being faced with all these emotions and all these things. It's been like 15, 16 weeks that I've been now, you know, in session. And it's like making sense of all these things. And I see it now, right? Now I'm starting to get clearer vision, and even in my own relationship. And I'm like, oh my God, wow, that fits, right? That makes sense. I'm crossing my T's and dotting my I's. And now I'm like, okay, well, now that I see it, how do I fix it? How do I fix it? Because I don't know how to do that. You know what I mean? Look for you going live. I'm a stay-at-home mom, caregiver of 2 disabled children. Oh, Janet, girl, your hands are full. So I don't know. So sometimes she sits there and I'm like, okay, well, what do I do? And she's like, well, you're doing the first step is recognizing it. You know, this is part of the healing process. This is part of the moving forward practice. It doesn't happen overnight. So you need to chill the fuck out, you know? And so my mind just doesn't stop, right? My mind just doesn't stop because I'm constantly making connections and aligning the traumas that I have in my own relationship to my past. And now it's making so much, I can see. But that's that clear vision. Still a little foggy, but it's scary. It's scary. It's fucking scary, right? So beware of counseling. Just so you know. Kind of feel like I'm in counseling with you. It's making me think about my life. Well, and you know, and that's why Lexapro helped my racing thoughts. Absolutely. Lexapro made that calmer, but everything else was more intense. My anxiety was intense, and it made my body react more painfully because I was always like this, you know, it was always like, so Lexapro for me calmed my mind, where now everything, my body's calmer, which is great for my fibro, but my overthinking is so much more empowering. The anxiety is gone, but that overthinking and the mind racing is fucking insane. So I told you I would take you along, right? I love Lexapro, but it wasn't good for me. I told you I'm not afraid to share my insights, you know, because that's part of healing, is talking about it. And we don't always have an ear, you know, and I have an audience, which makes it amazing. My TMJ is better, but it shifted my jaw again. So I'm hitting on my left side. So that hurts me a little bit. So a ton to think about. And yesterday I was just in the fucking yard because I just couldn't. And then my brother called me, Michael. And, you know, I've talked about Michael a lot because I think like we're kindred spirits. Like, you know, we're both from my dad, different moms. But our emotions are so right on. Our traumas are pretty much the same, even though we had different moms. We know when each other's hurt. Like we're twins, I swear. We're twins. And, you know, if I'm hurting, I know when he's hurting. It's that internal connection. That's crazy. So he called me yesterday and we were on the phone for like 2 hours. And it comes to find out that I know whenever I'm struggling with something, he's in it too. And so we just giggle because we're that connected. And we don't have to talk. Like sometimes we just text or we get kind of lazy, but like we both know we're thinking about each other. You know, he's like, I know when I'm feeling this way. I know I'm thinking about you, you know, and I said vice versa. And so it's wonderful, right? We had just a great talk. And I think, you know, I'm his big sister. So he looks up to me too and respects the things that I say. So I think I was able to help him a little bit too. And there's so much confusion, you know, about my dad. Like, you know, he tells me things that people have said about his diagnosis. And then I hear he wasn't diagnosed. And I'm like, well, what the fuck was it? You know? So I don't know. So the question's still out on our dad, whether or not we know, but he's got a lot of trauma from our dad. And, you know, he's recognizing things because he's also going through counseling. So it's recognizing the things. And he said something, and I was like, bro, that's dad. He's like, I know. Poor thing. And he's like, I don't want to be like that. And I'm like, well, now you know. You recognize it, and you can fight hard to say you're enough, you know? And so I think it's just the connection we have is just amazing. I don't have that type of connection with any of my other brothers. I mean, he's just, um, my dad cast some spell, I guess, on him to make sure he was connected with me, because maybe he knew the other ones could do it. I don't know. So anyway, I don't know. It's crazy. Life is fucking crazy. The way things turn out and work out and all this stuff. Life is fucking crazy. And I'm starting to understand me a little bit more, you know, ultimately. And it's scary. It's scary. You know, you don't always like what you see. You don't always like what you feel. And if there's a lot of things that I need to work on for myself, because I can't work on anything, right, for other people if I can't work. But inadvertently, when you work on yourself, it helps other people. But I have to work on myself in order to also be able to love back effectively. To have a million people around you and still was alone. Yeah, I mean, it's hard. You know, it's hard. It's hard, you know? Fuck. You got to put in the work, though. You got to put in the work. And that's how you can tell somebody's evolving, is wanting. You know, she said, Danielle, you show up every week, whether you want to or not. To me, that shows me you want to be better, right? And when you're better for yourself, it'll turn around for other people. But, you know, I question myself now. Yeah, that wasn't the right thing, you know? But I can't help how I feel, you know? And feelings are valid. And talking about your feelings is important. So I don't know. I don't know. My therapy's on Zoom. Yeah. I'm not enjoying the grief. Grief is, well, you know, I mean, grief is lifelong. Grief doesn't ever go away. You know, I almost, and I'm going to tell you this because I realize, I recognize, hi, Vogie. I'm going to tell you that I feel, talking about it is making me realize I feel guilty. I feel guilty for recognizing these things in my mom that I didn't want to see, right? And so I feel guilty for feeling and not being able to talk to her, you know, not being able to say, you know, I recognize these things. I'm sorry. You know, I still love you, but, you know, I can't talk it through with her, which makes me sad. And I feel guilty because, you know, I'm telling you guys and I never got a chance to tell her. But I didn't know it at the time, you know. Who was taken to heaven? Oh, Maria. I'm sorry about that. Because all he has is a Down syndrome sister. Yeah, you know, but it teaches him, you know, having a Down syndrome sister teaches him a different aspect of life that we may not have learned, right? So I don't think it's a bad thing. I don't think it's a bad thing. I think, you know, if you believe in God or if you don't, I think things happen for a reason, you know. I think our destiny is already aligned before we're here. And I think in that point, I think at that point, the things that prevail throughout our journey are there because it's whatever lesson we need to learn. You know, it's whatever lesson we need to learn. So, you know, for some reason, the creator or not, or science or whatever you want to believe in, you know, he had a Down syndrome sister and it taught him to learn probably empathy. He probably had moments of feeling anger because his parents were giving her more attention. You know, there's so much that goes into the projection of who we are, you know, as an adult. So I am, Denise, I'm trying to keep the work up, but it's hard. It's fucking hard. It's like a fucking, it's a lot of work. I agree with the conversations I wish I could have with my mom. Yeah, Stacy, but you know, you can still talk to her, you know, and maybe I need to do that. My counselor would probably say, talk to your mom. don't feel guilty. But this, I just realized guilt was a feeling that I have talking to you guys, right? Hold on, let me get some water. Oh, sorry, James. I'm feeling that, it's a guilty. Let me go pee really quick. I'm feeling guilty because I'm finding out all these things and I feel bad. But that's part of me. I feel bad. See, I'm covering up my emotions for her. Okay. Hold on really quick. I gotta go to my system's purging my water system. So I like to fill up my buckets. Hold on a second. Gotta fill up my buckets. Normally I do this before I come on, but oh no. My buckets are purging. Okay, hold on. I just like to use that recycled water. I like to fill up my bucket. So that way I can, for some of it, I could water, you know? Anyway. Um so my work is doing my time. So anyway, sorry. I like to fill up my buckets so I can water. Uh can I cry? I haven't felt the need to cry. So it's been a week, but I haven't felt that desire to cry. Um, which is, I felt like crying a lot, right? So I'm thinking that was a little something. Maybe, you know, it's kind of taken away not taken fully away. Um, you got the bird feeder. Those things just freak me out. the bird feeders with the cameras. My friend had one of those. So no, Zelda, it's really weird because I haven't I haven't felt the need to cry. And that's like weird from, how I've been feeling, right? Because I've been feeling very like wanting to cry a lot. Suppose it helps me, and Rose, I think it's important. My counselor says it's important to talk to your friends, talk to your lives, talk to your people because that helps us. That helps us. Um, and don't feel, she would say, like, I know what she would say, talk to your mom, talk to your mom about it. Talk to your mom. It'll help clear it and say, I forgive you, right? Um, I, I, I forgive you, right? Mom, I forgive you. Letting it out also makes you heal from that trauma. I forgive her. I do. I forgive her. I don't hold a grudge against her, because as a mother myself, you're going to make mistakes and you're going to do things that, are going to affect your people whether you want to or not. And I understand that by proxy our kids get affected by our choices and our reactions and our feelings and our relationships and all that stuff. And I don't hold grudges. I used to, right? I used to. I used to. I did against my dad, but I never did against my mom. And I think that was just a projection to protect her and me from that trauma that I had with her. So it's just, I don't know, I don't think grudges are okay. No, I don't think grudges are okay. I think grudges inhibit you from healing. I think you can be angry, right? I think it's rational to be angry, right? I'm angry at some of her decisions because it impacted my life. But I forgive her for it. You can forgive, but you never forget, right? Forgiving is for you. And some people forget about that. Forgiving is for you, not for the other person. Not for the other person, but it's for you. So you can release the trauma and the weight of that trauma. It opens up your mind and your heart and your body to healing. If you hold a grudge, you ain't going to heal from that. You need to forgive, not forget. You need to forgive so you can move on, not that other people. Hi, Brenda. Oh, thank you. Hey, hey. Um, and as a parent, we're not perfect, and as a 52-year-old mom, my kids have anger, for different things, and I can't protect them from that. They should just know better, right? They should know better, and not all kids do. And you can't prevent them from holding grudges or being angry. That's on them. They need to forgive, right? Not for me, but for themselves. So that way it doesn't affect their relationships. And anger affects your relationships. You can't have a successful relationship with anger. And that's kids and all, you know? Again, we can't prevent them from a trauma. A trauma as simple as falling on your sibling and getting yelled at could stick with you for the rest of your life. And now you're afraid to hurt people. So you overcompensate yourself to make sure you can make everybody happy. Trauma doesn't have to be something horrific. It's something simple that you keep in your head as a child, being yelled at in a certain situation that inputted in your brain. And now as an adult, you are going to have some sort of way you handle it because of your past. Um, Forgiveness, again, is for you, not for the other person. And I know some of you with bad parents or, kids that are estranged and all that stuff. The traumas are there, whether you want it or not. But you have to forgive them for yourself. You don't have to like it, and you can be angry at the other people because that's a valid emotion, but you have to forgive them for yourself to be able to cope. And a lot of people don't get that, you know? A lot of people don't get that. Our kids don't get that. And maybe when they're 52 and we're already dead, then they'll say, oh, you know, oh, too late. I always try to tell my kids, like, you can be angry, right? You can be angry. You can be angry at us. You can be angry at your dad for doing the things you wish he did, or me for, not being so overbearing or so worried all the time or wanting to know your business. You can be angry and it could affect you for being more private, not wanting to tell the world. And some of my kids have that, because they knew I like to talk. And so they didn't want to always let me in because and that's emotion they had to deal with. I'm just assuming. High guacs, it affects everything. And they get annoyed with me, right? How many of our kids get annoyed with us with the things we do? You've always done this, and then you start becoming paranoid of how you react around them, right? Because you're like, well, fuck, I don't want to piss them off. They were already angry at me and didn't talk to me for like a month. And half the time you don't even know why. And then you start talking to them and then they get angry again and you're like, "Well, what can I say? What can I say? What can I do? I don't want to like piss you off again, shit." Um it's fucking hard. It's not easy. It's not fucking easy, y'all. This life we live and these people that are in it and some of these people we created, it's like, how did you what happened? Don't you know better? They don't always. They got to figure it out on their own. And when your kids are grown, fucking grown, bitch, girl. Ah, caramba. You have to, um, Amanda, it's hard to love myself. I don't fully love myself all the way. And the self bashing is proof that I'm not there yet, right? I'm not feeling, I self loathe people. I self loathe myself. I get angry at myself for eating too much. I get angry at myself for drinking too much. I get angry at myself for doing nicotine. I get angry at myself for, not finishing, my list yesterday. I get angry at myself for like sitting down. Like, I can't sit down. I got to keep moving. Why? Why do I have to? I get angry at myself for not having the perfect inside house. I get angry at myself for, my yard having too many weeds and not being able to stay on top of it. Right? I get angry for not having the perfect cars and being able to keep them clean all the time because I like perfection. But perfection is also an action to cover up the things that I'm projecting, right? Forgiveness towards someone is definitely healing for ourselves. Yes. Yeah. Karma. I do like karma. I still want some karma. Hey, Paps, I still want some karma. You know what I mean? I'm not that perfect where I don't seek vengeance or want it. It does give me some pleasure. A little bit. Did I say that out loud? Shit. I love myself from head to toe. We know you love your said. We know you love your head, guac. So it's a lot of pressure, but it's the pressure we put on ourselves because we're running, and I think it's a coping mechanism, right? Because when we keep busy, right, we're anxious. We're anxious because of how we're feeling, right? We're anxious because we wake up when you have trauma. Your day starts with how you're feeling and what you're really feeling in that moment that you wake up, and then everything just capitulates from there. So those of us that are striving to push ourselves to the bone, not only is that a form of anxiety, it's a form of depression, it's a form of not recognizing what we're feeling at the moment that we're doing it, right? I knew yesterday when I was outside, I was coping. I was coping with the trauma of learning about more about my mom. And it fucking fucked me up. It fucked me up. And so I pushed myself to the bone. I pushed myself. I overdid it because that's how I cope with my stress and my anxiety. Even though my body's calmer from the what am I on Cymbalta? It's calmer, but I still have those same patterns. And I don't know if it's healing, right? I don't know if it's really, really healing, but in the moment, it helps me cope, I guess, I guess it helps me cope. So I don't know. And I've done that ever since my mom died, actually. Ever since my mom died, everything got worse. It amplified. And why is that? It's because I'm trying to cope with a feeling of grief and sadness. The base of my emotions every day is grief and sadness. I told you all last week or the week before I have a broken heart, right? And I'm realizing that every day I have that looming and it doesn't go away. Zelda, I have a feeling of crying. It doesn't go away. That sadness is underlying on top of below everything else that builds throughout the day. So I'm starting to recognize I'm sad. The base of my emotion every day is sadness. Think about it. Think about yourselves, Think about yourselves. So I know every day I'm starting off and I've never recognized it. And self-love is recognizing your feelings. Um, so I wake up every day, the last 20 years, and I've been sad. And instead of dealing with that sadness, I cope with that sadness. And the only way I know how to cope with that sadness is because I don't have people to talk to. You now is rearranging, keeping my mind occupied, keeping my anxiety occupied with doing something and pushing myself to the point of exhaustion, because that's the only way I can calm down. So my counselor would say, this is healing, right? You're healing right now. You're healing. You're recognizing now you have sadness, and that's your base core feeling. That's my base core feeling, I believe. Broken. Broken. So I recognize that every day. And I'm learning, and hopefully the Cymbalta will help me better, right? Because without Cymbalta, my anxiety is through the roof. And not only do I feel it in my body, I cannot manage myself. And the hormones don't help, right? The hormones don't help. And the sadness doesn't necessarily have to go away, right? I don't think you get over sadness. I'm always going to be sad that my mom's not here to help guide me and, But it's learning how to forgive myself for being sad. Again, I get angry at myself for not being able to fix myself. And then here is, yes, and Chase, that's the thing. You have to learn to be okay with your sadness. Once you're recognizing it constantly and say, I'm sad. I am sad. I'm fucking sad. Recognizing it every day gives you that power of knowing and understanding, well, I'm going to be sad. Now, what am I going to do with that sadness, right? I don't know if I'll ever heal from that, but it's learning to deal with it and learning to cope with it and recognizing it is the first step. Melinda, I'm feeling that way. I'm feeling like I didn't know how Cymbalta was going to be for me, but I'm feeling now finally after a little bit over a week. And then in one more week, I go up one more. Yeah. Oh, Carrie, don't worry about it. I'm okay with that. So you can't be happy all the time. No. You can't be happy all the time. And if you think you are, you're not. You're just lying to yourself. And if that's how you get through the day, that's fine. But that's not healing, right? Learning to cope by other things that you're doing is not healing the inner issues that are causing those reactions. Whew. Tammy, it's helping with my pain. I feel it. I feel it's really helping. Yeah. I have HRT. But, HRT it's not magical for everybody. I have the progesterone right in the source of my uterus and I have a patch. So I just did another biopsy to make sure everything's in my uterus is fine and still everything's kosher. So maybe she'll put me up more on my estrogen to help with everything else. But I'm trying, it's just the overthinking is killing me right now. It's making me overexhausted.
What are you thinking?
And that's what I got to deal with. So anyway, that's it. So, yeah, everybody is. It's called functional depression. You know, functional depression is, everybody looks at you and sees everything's fine, but inside you're reeling and you're struggling and you're drowning and you're, coping with everything. And it's like most people are walking around with functional depression. My foot was severed in a car accident and Cymbalta helped the most. That's good. That's good. But people don't want to admit it, right? Because God forbid they admit they have, any sort of something, right? Um, so anyway, thank you for the gifts. I appreciate you. I appreciate for tapping because tapping has this is probably the most likes I've gotten in a long time. So that's important to do for your people. If you love your people, you got to tap. Counseling is a big step. Yes. And it is. And I'll find it. I'm finding it slowly but surely. And I'm trying to come to peace with some of the things, and it's just going to take time. It doesn't happen overnight. And I hate that because I want things fixed now, you know. And I just have to realize that I'm not going to being fixed is a lifetime achievement. It's constantly working on myself with helps of medication because I couldn't, there's no way. There's no way I could have done this successfully without medication. No, please don't. No, that's stressful for me. Um, so I can relate with how you're feeling. Also, I miss my mother. It hurts. Yeah, it hurts. It hurts. Janet, you leaving? Um, I realized, I didn't do meds for the longest time. I didn't do meds for the longest time. And then at 46, I think I started 46, 47, I started Lexapro for the first time because I could not cope with and I realized how much that helped me at the time, right? Getting through so much. And then I was like, what the hell did I do? I struggled this whole lifetime of mine and maybe life wouldn't have been so hard or things could have been made more sense if I was able to slow down a little bit. Now, I think the Cymbalta is slowing me down a little bit, obviously in other areas, because look, my shoulders are still down. They're not up. Um, but realizing that as time progressed, Lexapro was just worse for everything. My TMJ and my fibromyalgia, and it worked great because I was euphoric. I was excited. I was up, but that it made my body more anxious, right? So I thought my TMJ specialist was like, "Yep, no, we're getting off of that." And I thought, well, let me try the no drug thing. Let me try the no drug thing. I did it before. I could do it again. I did it for 2 months, and you guys saw me. I was insane. I couldn't breathe. I wanted to cry all the time. I felt like I was drowning. I felt like, and I'm in a different place than I was 5 years ago, And so I'm like, I can't do this. Like, what am I doing to myself? And then I was like, no, I'm fine, Danielle, push through this thing. But there's so much here. I can't. I was like, I can't do this. I can't be successful if I don't have somebody holding my hand. And so then I texted my doc. I was like, "All right, I need something, I need something." And I'm just at a different place. And my doc had to say, "Danielle, you're not 46, 47 anymore. You're at a different place in your life. You're going through menopause, you're going through all these different changes in your body, and it's okay." And I had to say to myself, instead of beating myself up, right? Because I feel like a failure for taking medicine. And now I can't. Now it's like, why am I beating myself up for something that I know is helpful and helps me and helps everybody around me? But most importantly, me. Because really, that's where it starts. But, I beat myself up. That's what I do. Because God forbid I have any emotions and I feel something, right? God forbid, I'm like anybody else. So it's, again, recognizing, making connections, and trying to work through it and releasing anger. Releasing anger. Do I feel foggy with Cymbalta? Fuck, the first week. Feisty, I was like, I didn't think I was gonna be able to do it. The first week knocked me out. But yesterday, the day before, and today is the best the best I felt. I don't, I haven't felt, the last couple days that I've woken up, I have felt lighter, if that makes sense. I have felt lighter. So I was feeling so heavy. Like, I'm waking up and I'm like, oh, here we go again, another day, you know, another day. And it was more grim. Today I'm like, oh, okay, another day. I got this. It's a different thought process. One life, come into alone and leave alone. We all did the best we can, 100%. It made me so nauseous in the beginning. Sometimes it still does, but it got better. And I think it, like rain, I was taking 2-hour naps. Like it was knocking me out. I was like, I can't go. And you know me, I like to push, but I couldn't push through anymore. I'm hopefully learning tools. It's hard, it's hard. And it did make me feel nauseous the first couple days. The first day, really, I was like, oh my God, what the hell? Um, and I take it before bed. Yeah. So I'm supposed to up my dose, but they said morning and night in a week. So once my body titrates, and then I'm supposed to up it one more dose. So they want me on 60 total. And so that's going to be a hard week too, because I think the titration kind of knocks you out. So with that being said, it's the 30 milligrams that I'm on right now is taking away some of the heaviness, finally, after about a week. But remember, it takes 4 to 6 weeks for it to really, you know, like full effect. It's awful. Yes, 35. I was diagnosed at 36. It doesn't get totally bad until it was bad, but they put me on hormones and it was better, but it got worse late 40s for me. I didn't get sleepy. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. No, I didn't get sleepy because I was so like wound up, you know. For a year and a half helps with things but no energy. Laura, I can feel that. So I feel better. Um, oh yeah, Sarah, that's normal at 46. 46, I started getting deep into the throes of peri. And 47, 48, 49, I thought I was going to kill somebody or myself. And that's when I started anti-anxiety medicine. And then fast forward to 52. Yeah, I'm ready to lose my mind. I'm ready to reach inside my cooter and rip everything out. That's half the times what I'm feeling like. For many years, and it has helped me immensely. I'm so happy to hear this much. Yes, Heather. And I feel, and Laura said about the energy. I understand that because the first week it was like, remember I was saying I feel humdrum. Like it takes me a minute to get moving. Um, like I could see that. But right now, I'm feeling like, yes, it's exhausting, but I have more of my normal self is coming through. Yeah. My body's slowing down 100%, Amanda. And it's hard to lose weight. I have more of a fudge pudge in my front. Um, and I'm thicker, right? I'm thicker. Our skin gets thinner. Things start hanging. We look more mushy, even if we don't exercise. I mean, the people who don't exercise, I'm sorry, but you mushy. And it's just because our skin gets less dense and it just shows it all more. So aging is wonderful. Yeah, it's great, you know? So I'm trying to just keep exercising as long as I can. And even if I've got pudge, at least I got some muscle. Carrie, it's horrible. Like perimenopause is just fucking horrible. And my doctor keeps saying, you know, like she did the biopsy, right? Because she was saying, native girl, you're lucky. 55 and no meds. There's very few of you that can say, oh yeah, it was a piece of cake, Nothing. And one day I just woke up and had no period. But there's also a lot of people who suffer. I mean, I think I've suffered with every possible side effect with perimenopause. Anxiety gets worse, all that shit that you talk about for anti-anxiety meds, that's perimenopause. And then you go crazy because it's like everything in your body's going haywire, So side effects after being on heart racing. Oh God, that's no good. 53 no meds and you're suffering. Yeah, and I decided, you know what? I don't want to suffer. I don't want to suffer. Fuck. I'm done suffering. Because life can be so much more enjoyable if you actually do something. I was telling my brother that, he's got paranoia about taking anti-anxiety meds because he thinks dad was on them. And he's like, well, I have such an adverse reaction to him because dad was on him and he still killed himself. And I was like, dad was on him? He's like, well, I don't know. Was he on him? Wasn't he? I said, I don't even know. I don't even know. But take it from your older sister, do it, because why make yourself miserable? If you can take something that helps you get through, why not do it and make yourself feel better? Um, and that's why I went back on the anti-anxiety depressive medicines, because I I wasn't going to live healthily because my body was in just spinning. Like I could not. And that's not healthy for your body. And so for me, like, why not? I've already been on it and I loved the antidepressant. So why wouldn't I do that again and find something that's more fitting for my body, right? Why wouldn't I do that again? Because what's wrong with a little hand holding and a little comfort to make you more stable? Because I was not stable. Um, and so I just literally I'm not playing that game anymore. I'm not playing that game anymore. I'm just like, fuck this shit. Don't feel guilty, Danielle, because it helps you. And if it helps you get through the crazy, then fucking take the pill. Oh, Felicity, Dan has a hard time. Dan has a hard time. He's ADHD too, and he can't take pills because he would abuse them. And so, yeah, he's all over the place. And it's hard for me when I'm already anxious by nature and dealing with my internal struggles. And then I have him who can't be medicated and is psychopathic, like just is extreme anxiety. I'm on Cymbalta. Yeah, I was on Lexapro, but I had to get off of it. I loved Lexapro, but it just wasn't good for my fibro. Yeah. Yeah, it's hard finding it, and that's what it is. It's a process, but it's a process for you. It makes this journey easier, right? A new baby, it would Felicity, girl, I understand. I'm 62, had a partial hysterectomy when I was 40. Menopause is crazy. Um, Poop time. You might hear poop pop, poop, poop, poop. I've been on it for 7, 8 days, 9 days. And I'm still figuring it out. The calm me is weird, right? The calm me is weird. It may be weird for you, but it's also weird for me because I'm not used to being calm. So I was telling my counselor, I said, being calm is really hard with all this anxiety, right? So it's like my anxiety is tampered down in my body, which is good because I need my body to be less anxious because of my fibro, because then my pain isn't as big. But I still have the anxiety in my head. And it's maybe a little slower, but I'm still not on the full dosage yet. So, you know, I'm still not on the full dosage, so we'll wait and see how you guys got to give me some more time. But right now, I think I'm starting to be like, okay, this works, this works, but it's kind of fucking with my head in other ways that I'll just have to work through. So I don't know. It's just it is. So when you're poor because you can't buy healthy foods, you know, um, even if you're poor, there's things you can do that can be healthier. I mean, don't be let down for, we were raised on all this bullshit anyway. There's things you can do to be healthier, definitely. I'm glad it's starting to work for you though. That's fast for an antidepressant. Yeah. But again, I don't have the full effect. The first week was rough because I had no energy and I was very tired. Um, but adjusting to this new me is weird. Who is it? What's she doing? What's going on? Why, huh? And who? What? Fuck. Um, Walking is free. Yeah. I'm still in the beginning. Yeah. In 6 weeks, you will feel like a totally different person. And I hope so. I don't think this is a bad person because, like Dan said, he's like, you've been really consistent. And he's like, it helps me not be so extra stressed, right? Glad I'm helping you, buddy. It's always about the man. You glad I'm helping you. Glad I'm not giving you anxiety on top of your already anxiety because that's what I'm striving for, Shit, Thank you because you're more consistent and you're not stressing me out. Well, when are you going to start helping me? You know what I mean? Like settle your fucking self down. And so I notice like things that he does, like sometimes, we get irritated, we get triggered with each other with certain aspects of dealing with Ed and stuff like that. And certain things like before I was like, "Oh my fucking god," And I just had to say it out loud because I was like, fuck, or enough already because it's making me stressed out, like you got to stop because you're killing me. And then I realized that I'm feeding off of his emotion, which he gets over really quick, but it stays with me and it stills more drudging and sludge that I carry around for the rest of the day. I'm noticing now that it's still irritating, but I don't feel so overpowered by it to where it's not as much staying with me a little bit. It's not staying with me as long. So that helps. That's like another thing that was adding more stress to my day was his emotional outbursts, Um, because he's loud and he's full of energy and he's very, very, by Emily, just crazy impulsive and, will freak out at a drop of a hat. And so, yes, it's not so well, certain things consume me, but certain things are letting go. Yeah. So I do have ADHD. ADHD, I started, I never had it. I don't think I mean, it's a recent thing in the last couple years. So, there's always downfalls to all these medications, guys. I mean, not everything is perfect and not everything is great. It's just trying to find something that works with your body and works with all your fucking shit. So, and I need something, I, I need something stronger, and it's funny because, I made the connections with alcohol too. I was talking to her yesterday. I said, I still love it. I still think about having a glass of wine. Right? But then I'm so scared, like, because 'cause I'm like, "Okay, I haven't gone a week, like, does that make me a failure?" So I'm consumed with that, feeling like a failure, Hi, Barry. And, um, and so, I'm so consumed with it. So, like, the other shit, the environmental shit of Dan and his anxiety, I'm not so consumed with that, but the other things that are so prominent, obviously, that I still need to heal from are so, like, bad, you know? Um, Alcohol for me was a release, right? And it made me feel happy, right? Alcohol for me made me feel happy. And so when I drank, I felt like I could relax enough to be happy. Um, and so I enjoy drinking because I was happy. I was able to get frisky and I was able to have fun with Dan. And it was like my way just to release. Um, and it's weird because I don't know. So now I can't feel like I can just relax enough to do those things. But I liked it because it would made me happy. But at the end of the day, it made me tired, right? And the tiredness also created another emotion of, oh, I don't want to do this. Oh, God, Dan, you're gonna have to deal with it. And it affected the way, I ended the night because it was like everything was so um tough because I was exhausted. So I'm starting the day already exhausted because of sleep. And then I'm finishing the day with alcohol because I liked it and it relaxed me, right? And it relaxed my body and it made me happy. But then when you stop drinking, right? Because you can't continue to drink, then it was like a crash. And my mind sees it now. My mind's clear, right? And then I was like, oh my God. And then everything becomes so because I get so tired. And it's a depressant, right? So it makes you more tired and it makes you feeds off that initial energy. So I don't know if it was self-medicating because I enjoy wine. I enjoy it. And so anyway, So that's been my realization. So, like, I'm now like, my brain's like, okay, I'm so tired already. I can't drink because I still have, to get Ed in bed and I still have to, do all this stuff. And then by that time, I'm like, okay, I've already forgotten about it. Sometimes in bed, I'm like, ooh, a glass of wine would be nice, in bed just to like simmer down. But my brain is not there yet. My brain is not there yet. Um, yeah, my dosage is going up. No, I don't take ADHD meds. No. Um, no. So my dosage will be going up in a week. I have to up it to one more. I have 30. So I think 30 in the morning and 30 at night. hmm So that's my dosage. To 60. The main event is getting to 60. So yeah, so anyway, so I still have that competitive control thing that triggers in my brain too, with eating and alcohol. And I don't, like I said, I don't have a middle ground, right? I'm either doing it or I'm not. And I need to get to where I can, you know, middle ground. Like if I want one, I can have one. And I'm overthinking everything. I'm overthinking. Um, and I think it's because so many people talk about alcohol, even like my husband. And I think it just makes me think like, what the fuck? And then I went through this like, fuck off, everybody. I want to do what I want to do. I'm a 52-year-old woman who has worked hard her whole life, and who deserves, if she wants a fucking bottle of wine, to have it throughout the day. Um, but, the now commerce side of Danielle is like, "Well, girl, come on. You know what the outcome is. It's great while it lasts, but then it dissipates quickly." So, it's just trying to find that balance. I need a balance. I need a happy medium. A happy medium is good. So, I'm just not there yet. Not yet. Not yet. I have a bottle of wine chilled too, and I look at it. I'm like, "Okay, maybe today's the day." And I'm like, "No, 'cause you're gonna feel like shit tomorrow." And I don't wanna beat myself up right now because I'm doing so many other things that I don't need that other pressure, right? I don't need that other, gut emotion to deal with. And so I'm just not there yet. I'm not there yet. Moxie tattoo, girl, because if not, I wouldn't have any eyebrows. Thank you to perimenopause. And why does perimenopause take away your eyebrows? Just asking. Like, why does it have to go there? You're not a fun drunk. Oh, I'm a fun drunk. Yeah, but I get tired. So the difference is with alcohol for me is I'm fun drunk, but I get so fucking tired and then I crash. So it like if you have a glass or two, it's fine. There's no big deal. But yeah, I fucking hate perimenopause. That's how I got drank in 11 months. That's how I got drank. So anyway, um, I'll have to deal with that. Like my counselor's like, well, we're gonna have to deal with that. Like, it's okay to have a glass of wine, Danielle. It's good. I heard about that Willie's remedy. It's everywhere. Is that like THC or something? Being happy if you tell yourself. Your brain's a powerful tool, right? Uh, a medium ground is often not possible for alcoholics. Badger, I'm not an alcoholic. I'm not an alcoholic. An alcoholic is somebody who, there's different types of alcoholics, right? An alcoholic is somebody who drinks all fucking day. An alcoholic is somebody who doesn't stop drinking. An alcoholic is somebody who starts from the morning and ends at the night, and relies on alcohol to keep going. Um, none of that was for me. None of that was for me. And obviously, I haven't drank in over a week. I'm not convulsing. I'm not, going through withdrawals. I'm not doing anything weird. So, no. Until she wasn't. We're friends today. Now she doesn't drink. Go figure. And it happens. People do have problems, right? I still don't believe I have a problem with alcohol. I don't think because I could do it or I couldn't. Half of the time I become a very routine based person. So there was a lot of times that I just, it was natural just to pour a glass of wine, you know, and it wasn't that I needed it. I don't think I need it. I mean, obviously it shows I don't need it, but I like it. I still want it. but I'm not right in my mind yet to have it, right? Not right in my mind to have it. Hi, Sus. Thank you. I appreciate it. Suzanne, right? From Sweden. So, and that's something I'm going to have to figure out in time. And my counselor doesn't like that, right? My counselor doesn't like that. She doesn't like the fact that I'm restricting, right? Because it's very, in my healing process, it's very like, no, we're not doing that, We're not going back to those old ways. We got to find a different way to do it. Pot isn't sober. I know. It's so all of us are coming in like they're sober. I know. And it drives me nuts because people are like, oh, you drink alcohol is not good for you. And then they're fucking pill poppers or they're fucking stoners. So it drives me nuts. Like it's like a double standard. No, pot is still a substance that you're using and abusing it. Sounds like denial. Of course, people are going to say that. I don't give a fuck what you say. It's not denial. I'm sitting here admitting everything to you. If I was going to deny it, I would do it. Alcohol is not a problem for me. So you're going to have those bitches coming in. Oh, it sounds like denial. Well, we did. Yeah. No. Mm-mm. Not denial. I could take alcohol or leave it. I enjoy it. There's a difference. People who are alcoholics don't enjoy alcohol. They use it. And if it changes me, and if I don't ever drink again, then I don't drink, right? It's one of those things, I mean, it could happen. Happens to people. Some people just to say, you know what, I don't enjoy it anymore. I like the taste, but I don't enjoy the after effects. So if alcohol brings problems, someone's like, it needs to be reassessed, right? If alcohol brings problems to people's lives, it needs to be reassessed 100%. Alcohol didn't bring problems to my life. I still woke up every day. I still ran. I still deal with everything. It didn't affect my life. One bottle, even if I had a bottle, it never affected my life. It's not a bottle of vodka. It's a bottle of fucking wine. So, or if you want to quit and can't, I can just quit. It's not a sign of, and if there's different functions of alcoholism, but to me, alcoholics are different. Like my mom and my dad, they used it to run away, right, from a problem. Normal people who drink, right, socially or whatever, use it because they enjoy it and it loosens them up and it should make them happy. If alcohol doesn't make you happy, you shouldn't be drinking it. And a lot of people who quit, right, have that problem and they drank too much and then they were ugly and they were mean drunks, and that's not fine. That's not good. You were in denial. I was in denial about my depression. That is sure. I will give you that. I will give you 100% denial on my everything else, because everything else was there. I didn't think I was depressed, right? I thought I was just anxious. Okay. And, so it turns out that I'm depressed. And so you learn things every day about yourself. And depression is, some people are bedridden and some people can walk around and seem okay, right? So it is what it is, you guys. You make the most of your life. I'm not afraid to share mine and share how I'm feeling, but don't tell me how I feel. Don't tell me what I am because you're not inside of me. You're not me. You're just making pointless accusations against somebody that you may not like, or you think you have the answers to because you've been around these people who have these problems. Don't project onto me. Yeah. Don't project your bullshit onto me. Yeah. I can tell by the way you abuse and embarrass your husband. Well, the idiots just opened up the door on YouTube for all the idiots, or what? Mhm. When they say sharing is caring, it sure as hell is caring, right? I'm sharing because I'm not ashamed, and then you share and people want to come and attack you for sharing. Oh, you were an alcoholic, all right. Oh, I was? I didn't know. Yeah. I didn't know I was an alcoholic. Shit. So anyway, I share my life to help. I do. I abuse my husband. He deserves to be abused. You know, he wishes it was the other way, but it's not. Ugh. They came running in. It was like the door open and then shut really quick, you know? So you know, I don't care. I don't care. Say what you want, but you're here watching me. Remember, tap, 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 tap. Oh, thank you for the likes on TikTok. You guys are doing your job. You guys still stuck on YouTube every day. Then one day I just didn't want it anymore. No reason. I don't know. Um, yeah, and Island Lady, that's where I'm on. I'm kind of want it, but I don't. I kind of want it, but I don't. And it was really weird because right before I started taking Cymbalta, I canceled like half of my, or put half of my memberships on wine on hold because I was like, I can't keep up with all this wine. And so I put half of my memberships on hold. And now I'm like, fuck, am I going to have to cancel my memberships? Oh my God, I'm going to have to cancel my memberships, you know, because I'm like, what if I don't drink again? You know, shit, that's weird. It feels weird, right? Feels weird because that was me. Feels weird that I'm calmer because I'm not this calm. My body's never this calm, but I am weirdly like it feels weird, you know? It feels like I should be drink, you know, and it takes 21 days to, what does it do? Takes 21 days to break a habit, right? So, um, and I know there's people that just all of a sudden decide they don't want to drink anymore. It's weird, right? I mean, it doesn't mean you don't think about it. Like, ooh, you probably look at a beer and be like, ooh, that sounds good, right? Ooh, that's refreshing. But then your brain goes to like, okay, well, shit. If I have one, I'm going to want two, especially in a social situation. And then I want three. And then I'm going to feel like shit later and not want to do anything, you know? Fuck. Am I not going to drink anymore? I can't imagine that, but you know, who knows? Who knows? Maybe not. And that's okay. Whatever I do, I do. So, and you know, there are people who quit drinking and then they start again. They're like, fuck this shit. That's boring. But yeah, right now I don't feel the need to. Right now, my medication is making me feel more like, do you really want it? Come on, let's think about it. Do you really want it? Kinda. Well, you don't want it. But it sounds so good. You're right, it does. But one of these days I'm just gonna open the wine. Uh Share this life. So anyway, I've been sober 45 days. It's a game changer. Don't miss it. You don't miss it? Audrey, were you drinking all? But what about a nice dirty martini? I love a good dirty gin martini. Oh my God. 45 days and don't. Why did you quit? Did you quit for a reason? I'm always fascinated why people quit. Did you quit for a reason? You're 5 days sober. It'll happen when it happens, 100%. And I got to remember, like, it's okay. You love dirty martinis? Congrats on my sobriety. I'm not sober. Just checking in to say, hi, Eloise. 36 years. Good for you. You do wake up feeling great. You know, you don't have, like, if I had one glass of wine or two, it wouldn't be bad, right? I would wake up the same way and feel great. But you know, it's the abuse that I do to myself for wanting to limit myself and feeling like a failure when I didn't reach my or I exceeded my limit. It's really me. It's about me. It's not about the wine. It's about me. 14 hours sober. Girl, I love it. It's about me. It's not, that's what people don't understand. They want to make it about the alcohol. It's about me. It's not about the alcohol. August will be 1 year, my decision because I thought it was taking control of me. And Holly, that's a smart decision. When you know it's taking control of you, and that's when you need to do it. Yeah. And that's what people don't realize. It's about you. It's about me. It's about wanting to just not beat myself up for something that I think it's me. It's the way it's my association with things, right? It's my association with alcohol and food. It's part of the anorexia, right? It's part of that it's part of that the self-hate too. Um and so does it feel better waking up after not drinking a bottle of wine? I really haven't noticed a difference. Physically, I have not noticed anything with regards to the wine, right? Because the wine was like 3 glasses for me. And if done throughout the day or whatever it was from late afternoon to early evening, it wasn't done in like an hour, right? Um, it was about the way I treated myself because I thought I did something wrong. When I eat too much, same thing. I beat myself up the next day and I feel shitty. I feel shitty because of the things that do to myself, not for the other things. I mean, sometimes you eat too much, you have stomach aches and all that stuff. Um, so it's different. It's because I abuse myself. There's a lot of self-loathing in there. And the self-loathing was always there every day. It wasn't for, I don't feel a difference for not having any alcohol physically. Mentally, I'm clearer because I'm not abusing myself. That self-sabotage, Leah, isn't there. It was the other day because I overate something and I was like, fuck you, fucking idiot, you know? But the self-sabotage is the most dangerous thing for me. It's not the alcohol. So, um, anyway, I'm strong in this support group with varying topics. At least you're doing something about it. I don't know what I'm doing about it because what I'm doing and how I'm handling it is not good either. So it's a catch 22, right? Um, it's it's um it's a catch 22 because I go from recognizing it to then ultimate control over not, and that's not healthy either. Yeah, it's not healthy. So there you have it. There you have it. Food's an addiction. Pills are an addiction. Pot can be an addiction. Anything is addictive. You can be addicted to anything. Shopping, you know, addiction is real for everybody, and it's just different types of addiction. I don't think I'm addicted to alcohol, hands down. I'm addicted to, I don't really have anything. I mean, I gamble, but that's not a big deal because I don't go every day. That's addictive personality. I have addictive personality, but I don't think I'm addicted to those things. I'm addicted to just wanting to be content in my life. And I think I'm always searching to be happy and I'm always searching to be loved. And I think basically I do the things that make me feel happy, right? I do the things that give me those serotonin and those dopamine releases because it makes me feel better for the time. And, it's having a healthy relationship with everything in moderation, right? So anyway, it's not easy. And, like I say, I think of myself every day and I'm like, oh my God, I overthink everything, right? And I'm thinking, oh my God, like, what if I don't drink anymore? Like, I'm gonna have to, it's like, okay, what if you don't drink? Why are you hyper focusing on it? oh my God, what if I don't do this anymore? Or what if I don't, oh my God, what am I going to do? It's just that technique to just constantly overthink and kill myself. It's just your mind doesn't stop, and that's not healthy either. So I'm just trying to get everything to quiet down. Um, so I do things, right? Exercise is an addiction for me. Um, Exercise is an addiction because it helps me cope. It's parting a coping mechanism and helps me, feel, they say like a runner's high. And for any of you who are avid exercises, you're dragging your feet, you go, but afterwards you're like, okay, I feel great. That was good. It releases, right? It's a release, it's a type of release. And most of the time, from the time we wake up to the time we exercise, there's a lot of stressors already put in our way. So that is a high. And I have a problem, right, with not exercising. I cannot not exercise, right? That's an addiction. It makes me feel crappy. It makes me feel like I didn't do something that I should have done. It's that self-sabotage again. Self-sabotage. Yeah. Uh, so self-sabotage is real. And that's what it is. And I said that yesterday. I said it's self-sabotage. I self-sabotage myself. And she's like, "Yeah, you do." Because it's hard for you to find enjoyment in things. You feel guilty for also finding happiness in things because you're worried about other people and what they think, not social media, but like your family. You're worried about what your family thinks of you. So that's why you're harder on yourself for those things. I can't have happiness. It's not allowed for some reason because I give it to others. And when I try to find happiness and contentment, I bash myself for enjoying myself. But originally, that's how Dan released, right? That was his coping mechanism in life was alcohol and gambling. So, I kind of fell in line with him doing that over the years. And he got out of it because we don't make money like we used to, right? I was conditioned. Yeah. We don't make money like we used to, and he knows he would lose control, right? So Dan's kind of all or nothing too, in a way. Like with gambling, it was just bad because he knew he can't gamble, right? It was like just can't do it anymore because we don't have the money to do it. We would literally go broke. And so, that was what I kind of learned to do. And a little bit is conditioned, right? Most of it's all conditioned, but I still seek um those rushes, right? Because it's that immediate gratification. Now, gambling, not drinking is going to be a whole completely different situation, right? And I don't know if I'll like gambling anymore because they went hand in hand. So we'll see. There's a lot that I overthink. See, I'm thinking about that. How am I going to be able to gamble? Because I still want to gamble because I still like that release. I like that feeling, that excitement and that happiness it gives me. But then I can't drink, okay? But you could have a glass of wine. No, it can't have. So I probably won't gamble as much or as long because that was fun. Hi, Katie. How are you? I'm sorry. I apologize. You know, um, I have control over most of my urges. I still, we all lose control every so often, you know? Um, so I can't meditate. Are you kidding me? My brain doesn't know how to shut down. Even when I'm Even when I'm sleeping, everything I'm dreaming is about the situations that I'm worried about with different people. And then when I wake up to the bathroom, I'm still thinking about those things that I've on my mind. It's amazing that I can ever just sleep. But this medication also makes me sleep good for the most part, I think. So it's insane. I can't. I just, they're like, stop thinking. And I'm like, are we done yet? Danielle. And I'm thinking about laundry and I'm thinking about, acupuncture is one of those things that actually the last time I had acupuncture, I could not, it took me a long time to relax. I have acupuncture on Friday. I have PT tomorrow and acupuncture tomorrow, Friday. Last time I was in acupuncture, um, sorry, I'm thinking about what they're saying. I have text messages coming through. Um, so it took me a long time to relax and to shut my mind off. When I was on medication, it was easier, or if I'm really tired. So I'm interested to see how I'll react this time because acupuncture was really like, it really just took me down and just knocked me the fuck out. So that's what you need. Yeah, she teases me, Beth. She's all over the board. Suzanne's on the special island. Suzanne's on a special. What did Sharon say? I'm seeing all these things. I'm trying not to pay attention. Did you block Sharon? I'm trying to see what Sharon said. She must have been gone. I like to see the disgusting people. Hi, Martz. How are you? Oh, Sharon was a sickie as a female, badging another female. That's okay. Whatever. No, I can't. I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet. There's no way I can't. I'm not there yet, I can't. My mind, I'm still overthinking everything. So like I can't work on meditation until like I can get a grasp on life itself. Oh, good. Jesus Christ loves me. I love that. I love Jesus Christ comments. Yeah, it's so wonderful. Okay, I'm gonna go. I got shit to do. I got shit to do. I don't know what I have to do today, but I'm gonna do. Doing well in yourself. Pruning trees today. I did a lot of pruning yesterday. Yeah. I don't know. Grandpa was fine this morning when I changed him. A little difficult, but who is not difficult when you have to change him. So anyway, tonight's a live night. Ugh. So I have to have some energy for live night, and I need a haircut. Look at that. Woo. But it's so gross anyway. I put it up. So anyway, okay. I love you. Have a good day. Remember, you are important. You are worthy, and you matter. And you've got to believe that. In order to believe that, you got to love yourself for that one. And I'm still working on that. So it's not easy. Anyway, have a great day. I'll see you later. Bye.